the summer event, they won every single game of Mirage they played, no matter who it was against. They beat Tyloo, they beat D13, they even beat Vici. And then you look at their recent performances. They lost to Vici yesterday. Okay, forgivable. They lost to Bren. Not so much. They lost to a team called JMT, who, now I'm not going to lie, I don't know much about that team. They've got a different Forsaken, who by his picture looks incredibly young. He is 16 years of age. They have Marek as well. They've got Killmatic from Russia and Ayaya. Like, these are players that realistically I expect Invictus to beat easily. So in recent form, their Mirage has actually been pretty poor. And, well, they're 50-50 for who normally wins it in head-to-head. So I think this will be another close one. I'm still going to favor Invictus just because I believe more in the individual players that they have. I think Viva and Flying have been very good. I don't think we've seen the best of Bottle just yet. So, yeah, hopefully we'll see a little bit more from them. Destroyer, I think, had a really, really poor T side and needs to be a little bit more careful in some of these plays. And, again, they're going to need some of these, like, crazy clutch rounds because that's the other thing. Like, sure, there was a clutch or two coming out from the CT side with the Deegs, for example. But most of the, like, 1vx situation seems to go the way of ZIGMA. If that doesn't happen, I think that game's not that close. And they also won both pistols. So they had everything going for them, and they still lost. So this time, unless they can recreate that, it's going to be a little bit tougher.
That it is, Tom. That it is. Now we're coming into what is going to be potentially a tough map for Invictus. Depends on what ZIGMA shows up. Straight away, that fight was one of the most awkward I've ever seen. But it's all a bait. Bottle's up on top, and he's able to catch one off guard, swinging through for more. And a quick triple. Very nicely done. They heard the player on site. They'd already killed one in apps. Why would they ever assume Bottle was in that position?
Lovely stuff. Now, you see that position played a lot. Why? Why?
They lose this now, taking these 1v1 fights. I'm going to leave. I'm going to just walk out. 3 versus 1. You peek in. Give them the chance. Oh. At least they swung together on that one. Viva was
always
coming out.
Destroyer.
Yeah.
Like, the first player, they didn't even know he was there. No problem with that. But he always takes these really dumb duels. Like, he had about 8-9 shots to stop fighting that. And he's like, no, don't worry, guys. I got this. It's like, why? It's completely unnecessary. One frag is not going to make your career, man. It's not going to... Well, maybe it does in Mitch's case with his HOTV rating. But it's one of those things where I'm just like, what does this benefit? Like, your ego very slightly? Does it grow like a millimeter each time you get a kill? If it shrinks every time you get a death, then... I don't know. And it always seems like today, at least, it's been him every time. There's been like just a silly decision made. Nice work from Zhao Sage. They need to deny this bomb plant, and they should. Even just getting there in time is enough to basically make it impossible.
Of course, he just jump shot him with an MP9. Yeah, I have to agree with you here. Destroyer is just playing brainless. And I think we saw this in the previous Oromore as well. He's a player that plays very loose and doesn't have the skill to back it up a lot of the time. You will see him occasionally step into this more thought-provoking role, but it's a little bit too rare, I suppose, to have the consistent good performances. And you can see it. I feel like maybe he's just watched too many Tyloo demos, right? Maybe he's just watching them all the time going, hell yeah, this is how we play Counter-Strike in this region. It's like, no, this is how they play Counter-Strike. This is not how you can play Counter-Strike. No one else can do it.
Well, we are going to see him go down relatively early in this one. Flying, luckily, has been there to trade. Now, this is a round where at least some of the players have some weaker purchases. Now, the vent actually being closed has kind of helped them out here. It will make things really awkward in rotations, but it means that gaining some actual control from the window becomes quite difficult. They can hold on to jungle, but realistically, they should know that this position has been negated. And from the fact that Viva is currently running in the spawn, I'm going to go ahead and say they don't know that this position has been given up. Flying is going to cross his way to site. He is peeking towards connector, but I don't think he knows anything here. And the T's are just going to use this to their advantage. He gets one kill. That's it. Flying goes down. That's it. All they need is the single frag, but he spots the lone man. And now the rest of the team are looking to execute. Flying could put a spanner in the works. He's just hitting headshots. Only the headshots for Flying. As there's one man standing. What a clinical performance from him. He needed to be a savior in this round, and he was. It's left onto Just Cause. He now needs to go one better, and Xiao Sage is on the cross. That is a superb performance from Flying. And it all came down to a little bit of aggression with an MP9, an AK picked up, and then just domination with the headshots.
Yeah, sadly, there's going to be no liberation of Hand 2 in this one because Just Cause has just been deleted as Invictus. They come in with what was a pretty weak early game start, and then Flying turns up. And this dude is looking out for the heads. Nothing but them. It seems like his bullets are magnetized. Now, they are up against pistols in this round, but the problem is there's actually a scout in play. It's on Rolex is just 27 HP at this point, though, so it shouldn't present too much of a problem. No one's been tagged up on the CT side, and really this just comes down to what should be them being able to lock these in. I want you to just quickly take note of the fact that Destroyers found, what was it, 2 kills in this round? It's up against an eco with an aggressive top mid push, one that I couldn't disagree with more. And I feel like it's as important to point out when it fails as when it succeeds, just to further build the point of this guy isn't necessarily playing smart Counter-Strike. Here, I don't mind the push. They realize they're against pistols, though, and he continues to go. And he ran into what was potentially 3 pistols because the guy towards B hadn't been spotted at that point. So Just Cause may well have been there as well. So he could have been running into 2 pistols and a scout. Now, Tom, I don't know how good Destroyer thinks he is, but if you run into 2 pistols and a scout, you're not gonna win that fight most of the time. Especially if that scout tags you, you're dead.
Overdose is similarly made a very aggressive play. Tries to run all the way down short. The smokes don't quite shroud him enough, and Destroyer, well, he's might not be making the smartest of plays, but he is hitting his shots. So I guess the guys on Invictus are not going to mind too much. He's got a couple of openers for them here. The one thing they did in the last map was punish him. And that's the problem. That's the one thing for ZIGMA is if they don't punish someone like Destroyer, he will destroy them. Yes, it's in the name, but it is low-hanging fruit, I guess, Mitch. But that's the thing. He will just continue to run riot. He's not going to stop. It's not one of those people where they realize they've had enough and they then like chill for a bit and rethink their game. He's just going to continue to aggress until eventually he's punished. And well, it's looking like a 5-0 start for Invictus. Niffy and Just Cause trying to bring this situation back. Flying already with aggressive ramp control. So even if they do manage to kill Viva at the back, which that's easier said than done, this man now has the perfect position to be the flank, to be the nail in the coffin in this round. Nice shot from Viva. And this is kind of what I mean. Like, breaking him down is difficult enough, and they don't even know that there's a second player around this back spot. It's taken a very long time for him to retrieve the bomb as well. Flying, just going to run in, even denies the plant. Great round from Invictus. Almost looked too easy from them. And things for ZIGMA, very disjointed, very aggressive, and, well, a complete failure.
Yeah. For ZIGMA, as we said, this is going to be a much tougher map. And if you're wondering why, 5-0, we're obviously talking quite positively about Invictus and not so much about ZIGMA. Sorry, quite positively about Invictus and not giving the same caveats as we did in the previous map for ZIGMA. You do have to remember that in the previous map, the rounds they were building up were off of like 1v3s coming out of nowhere. Players pushing, like PP Overdose pushing through a smoke and catching 3 players off guard. It was like 1v1s that were going their way. These rounds have not been close. This has been Invictus just absolutely stomping from start to finish. There's been a couple of opportunities for Zig. Oh my god, they've not cleared the back corner. Even when Flying shoots, they don't turn. And eventually, they're going to deal with him, but Destroyer's here, and he's shutting them down. Now, these last 2 rounds from Destroyer have been really good. This is where I can definitely stand up and say he's doing a damn good job, because that A-hold was fantastic both times. A 2K and a 3K from him, up against rifles, and that's what I like to see.
Yeah, it seems like his crossfire on this site, or his like synergy, I guess you could say, with Flying looks a lot better. And Flying has been, they've really struggled. They have really, really struggled with getting past him on this site. And now Viva's got his AWP in play as well. That's another factor. they've given too much over, and the money is ridiculous. Xiao Sage, he wants a piece of the pie, Mitch. Slightly more passive way of going about it. Still going to get domed, and then Destroyer. Oh, there you go. He's finally been punished. It doesn't matter too much, but they have managed to retrieve a rifle. It could be an opening into this round. And she Just Cause again. Now, this has been a position on the map where I feel like they're getting this far too freely. And I really like this from Just Cause. Oh, Viva, smart, but he doesn't manage to connect the shots. And I wonder if this could finally be the punish. You can see that Otto has realized that he is being pushed from behind. Actually going to peek into this angle. It looks like he might flying. Oh, he might have just won this round. He's got the bomb. Nice shot from Just Cause, but he's got to run the gauntlet all the way back around. Flying has been, as said, an absolute menace so far. 11 kills, 3 deaths. Pushing, expecting him to come in that direction, but in fact, there's a real chance that Just Cause could steal the bomb away and go towards A.
A good chance indeed. You know, where does Flying go? Is he going underpass? Was he just hurt? Did Just Cause hear the drop down? He should have been within range to hear that, right? Oh man, that's terrible. That's actually a disaster. I think he has heard it. It really looks like he did. He's just running towards the A site now, but hold on. Flying's here. He's going to be in connector, and I don't know if Just Cause has the read because he's still running. He's barreling towards the site. The time is so low, he has to go.
He's so
but that
smart.
gives Flying the time to take that kill quickly. And 7-0. What a round by Invictus. I mean, that one comes to a 1v1, sure, but with Invictus winning it, they are miles ahead.
Yeah, in isolation though, it's a pretty bad round. Like,
oh, yeah.
that was just Deagles. It was Xiao Sage staying around too long. Finally, they managed to punish Destroyer, and then some really good plays lurking around the back lines with the AK to actually do a lot of damage. It just came down to, again, Flying. He's playing very well, and that was a smart rotation towards the end of the round. They're going for a fast play again. Now, they haven't brought the bomb with them, so they've taken Apps control. They've pushed into mid. They've taken Palace. Never mind. And the bomb's still just sat at the back. So there would be a severe hesitation. Destroyer, he can peek everything at the moment. Like, they have punished him once, and it was with pistols. Other than that, he's been able to face any position on the map, be it top mid, window, connector, and they haven't shut him down. And okay, Otto might have got a little bit overzealous there, but they're just trying to hunt down this orb. They know that Reality Jesus is going to try and hold on to this, so they're going to want to kill him off.
I respect it. You know, you want to really take that weapon, the valuable one, out of their hands, and considering the money that's in play for Invictus, Tom, I think it is fair to say that they could have afforded to, or they could afford to have lost a couple of weapons. Just a few here and there, maybe. They're sat up above 10k on
Dear
almost
Lord.
every player. It's ridiculous.
151 and 144, and Niffy has 10 ADR. Was a headshot though.
At least.
When he did get a kill, it was clean.
Yes.
Although
Unfortunately.
that only registers kills, so it doesn't, like, he could have body shot him and then headshot him, and it would still say 100% headshot.
Yeah.
Bottle under pressure. Actually, they managed to get this B site. A 2-for-2 trade is absolutely fine, especially with the pistols. Reality Jesus, I like this. He's got very aggressive. Oh, the timing couldn't be worse. Destroyer pulls out a nade and gets caught because of it. Left into a 2 versus 3. Peek out, bit risky, not necessary. Why are you taking that fight? That was silly. He does get wallbanged in the end, but he was still facing. That smoke is actually going to go onto the side. I don't know if that was meant at all. Viva pushing, teammate just behind him. They got to be careful of the apps. Both players looking the same way. PP overdose will get both.
Has been a fairly sad turn of affairs, really, for ZIGMA. To eventually get around on the board, though, might be the turning point for them. I doubt it, because they're up against buy after buy after buy for the CT side. They've given them so much money. They can pull out double up setups if they want to. They can do whatever the hell they want. And, you know, you can find one round here or there. There's been some that are close, but really, it's just going to have to be so convincing. It's going to have to be such a big turnaround from what we've seen on the previous maps that I don't know if I can quite believe in this one. As we see some mid-contention coming through. Good smokes down by ZIGMA. Force the CTs not completely out of here. It looks like there's maybe going to be an attempt at retaking some control by Chef Sage, but he's in trouble if he goes for this. He's going to go. He's going to peek this. The molly down, though. It might just have saved his life.
Oh. Now Saga gonna peek. That seems to be what most of the game plan has been so far. Never mind, Reality Jesus actually just wide swings and manages to find the kill. Gives them the man advantage once again. There's been some decent openers found onto a few different players, and Flying's finally going to be punished as well. They've started to expect the aggression. They're learning, Mitch. But, wow, Invictus have been able to take any control that they want. If we're just a bit more patient in the early stages of these rounds, even still, though, there is going to be a kill back onto short. Nice shot from Viva. These are going to be gathering up into an A hit. Destroyer actually going to go pushing all the way back under bout. Oh, what? He's on a ladder. That's not fair. That shouldn't be a headshot as well. Come on. You lucky, lucky man. That's a peak you should be punished for, not rewarded. But the game of Counter-Strike can be cruel sometimes. PP Overdose has spotted him. They don't have much time to play with, though. That's the clear, but the bomb's been dropped. This round is as good as done. He has to just run the gauntlet, retrieve it, and he's realized there's not enough time. And he's even going to get killed on the way out. Viva again with an explosive round. And, of course, Bottle with a BS headshot on a ladder.
It was something, right? You come through with some plays like that, the gods of RNG just happen to be completely in your favor. Like, you got to be a happy man if that's happening to you. Now, when we look at the score and position, it's disgusting. Seeing it in slow-mo even hurts. It hurts more. It really does. But for ZIGMA getting shut down, losing all their weapons like that, they're on their last penny, last dot. What was Viva doing there?
Who knows?
I don't understand. He had no support on middle. No one was pushing short or anything. This was like passive A, passive B, and Viva's like, I'm gonna run through smokes on mid with an op. That was weird.
I think this is just that they've hit a new level of like cockiness, that they're 9-1 up. Everybody trying to pad their stats as much as possible. Get that HLTV ranking up. Well, to be fair, they've already won the half in a fairly dominant way. As we say, this map is fairly 50-50, so even if they get to 10, it would be a good half. I'd hope they come up with a little bit more of that with how they've been performing. Destroyer is already going to cook one alive. I like that Flying's just hiding. He's waiting for the flash to come in. Destroyer, like, some of the kills he's getting are just an absolute load of rubbish. They're just shooting through the corner. Flying is on the trash can. It's actually Zhao Sage to find the kill. This retake's going relatively well with Bottle chiming in as well. It's left onto Rolex. All he can do is watch as they try and get towards the bomb. It's still a lot of damage done. They're yet to kill him off. He might even have this. It's a clutch once again for ZIGMA. I don't know how they seem to get away with these rounds. That is poor. Very, very poor from Invictus. But hey, this man's going to capitalize on it.
I'm going to find it hard, to be honest, Tom, to really get excited about ZIGMA's position, though. You know, you make this big play. I think Rolex has been a player that hasn't really had a lot to say in this series, so I'm glad that we're seeing him actually be able to have some impact in there. But they're so far behind that they've got to be near flawless to get back into this game. And the start was good, but they're in a little bit of hot water now. Look at the HP. PP Overdose, 1 HP. Rolex, 28. They could be absolutely torn apart at this stage. And quite easily at that. They're going to have to make some big plays. And I actually like the position PB's in. Playing up close over towards the vents, so that if he gets pushed through, at least that will make it easier with his 1 HP to find a kill potentially. At the same time, one random bullet into the leg or something, it's definitely possible to take him down. Good shot by Reality, though. They're back into the lead with a 4 versus 2. That pretty much negates the HP, and Invictus, they should consider saving.
Seems like PP Overdose is going to try and hunt down some of these weapons. On a long rotation, nice shot from Just Cause, and well, now it's left to Bottle to just try and hold on to his gun. Definitely having a better game. Easy kill to at least take down one of them. No! Oh! He's actually going to get the second as well. I don't know how. That doesn't make sense. And they can't afford to push him anymore. They don't have the money for it. So 9-3. CTs, they can't really buy this one. It should just be some pistols. But yeah, that nice shot at least onto Destroyer to start things off. But yeah, I think they're being bitten by not only some very aggressive plays coming out from ZIGMA, but also just that round where they lost a 1v3. And that was the case on Inferno as well. That was what gave ZIGMA actually a relatively decent half, was that Invictus just seemed to be so disjointed in a lot of these retakes. Flying, trying to be the hero, ends up going down, causes pistol rounds. They're going to take risks. But these risks have not paid off this time. Cross being held by Destroyer, but he will whiff. That is a very fast round done. 9-4. The climb back continues for ZIGMA. If they get this to 6, it's really not that bad.
Yeah. It's recoverable if they can make it all the way to 6. And really, this next round is going to be the defining factor, whether that is possible or not. You know, Invictus are coming into this one with a decent investment. And for ZIGMA, it's do or die time. Lose this round, and they're very, very likely to lose the map. So if they want to stay alive, this is where they've got to do it. This is where they've got to make their final stand, or I guess their final push. As we look in towards this T side, it is, ooh, not a good start. Reality Jesus lit down massively in towards Palace. Rolex falls straight away, but an apartments trade comes through. Just Cause able to open this one up, and he's looking very good on the drop down, but Xiao Sage was watching him, ready to just take him out as soon as he came onto the site, flying him with another. It's looking a little bit better. Reality Jesus still very low, but he's got the op, and Viva's even pushed off the angle. Gonna play for the retake now.
Well, this one's definitely a close one, and that seems to be where ZIGMA thrive a lot of the time. The early rounds of this one, though, were a lot of clutches going in their opponent's favor. The B site is open for business. Xiao Sage, timing could be everything here. We did see it checked, and that could end up being a bit of a false positive. Now, they've left the bomb on the deck to actually give some time for them to get into some more aggressive afterplant positions. But this could actually bite them in the back, because it's also given time for Xiao Sage to continue his flank through the apartments. Now, it's not going to be as effective, but Reality Jesus, I don't think he's going to be prepared for this. Bench is where he resides, or thereabouts, and Viva's actually already going to kill him off. That one wasn't a surprise at all. Now, Niffy isn't even going to know that he's coming from this angle. It is unlucky. The positioning that they chose was not necessarily bad. The problem is that their opponents came for the perfect angles to counter them.
ZIGMA tries so hard, but in the end, they lose it all. This is the thing for ZIGMA. At 4 rounds, it's not good enough. The pistol could pretty much swing this over to Invictus. And I know we said we're looking at a clear-cut series. Look at that. Average HP after the end of the round is 43 for the T side. And I think, obviously, with this kind of scoreline, they've usually been dead. It drags down the stats quite a bit. But for Invictus, they've been getting that pretty clean. You're looking at average 2 players alive in terms of HP. You don't know what that's spread over. But the point was, it takes ZIGMA a long time to actually really damage their economy. And coming into this final round, everything that they want is in play. Oh, the nades, the spams. Very good damage to Xiao Sage straight away. He's going to have to rely on catching players off guard now. He can't take any further aim duels on short.
Oh, a chance for a 10-5. We were looking at, what, an 8-0 scoreline? This didn't look possible, so especially even at 9-1 where their money got reset back. So they're at least grinding back a little bit. Now Stargate. Oh, he said he couldn't be aggressive anymore. He disagreed with you, Mitch. He had other ideas. And Bottle's now going to peek into an AWP as well. This round is slipping away from them. The B site firmly under their control. Perfect position for PP Overdose as well. Easy kill on the first. Second not quite going to come his way as Viva is there with the trade of the AWP. Still, though, a 4v2 and Rolex on the secondary flank leaves Flying alone. 1v4, he's been good, but not that good. 10-5 for Invictus. It definitely could have been a lot more, but they made some clinical mistakes that ended up costing them. Well, we'll see if if they lose the pistol, it really isn't that far away for ZIGMA to bring this one back.
I love that different take on the short approach. Like, yeah, so surely they can't afford to take any more, or Shosaga can't take any more fights on short. Swings wide. Okay, cool. But either way, it didn't work out. Invictus 10 rounds, as we said, 4 just wasn't enough for ZIGMA. 5 ain't a whole lot better, but at least it means if they lose this pistol, there's a small bit of a chance for the comeback into it. This is going to be very important, though, for Invictus to really hammer home this victory. They want to be getting away with this one, and the smoke already down to only one to allow them to cross over towards this site and get the plant in. They want to force the fight up close. Oh my god! Just Cause was down the very bottom of Connector, and he has just been absolutely wrecked. Niffy didn't kill him! Oh no! He headshot him through the wall, and that cost him his life in the end as he runs out of ammo. PP Overdose 1v2. What an awkward pistol this has been. He's going to look to find these headshots. We know he's capable. Viva took too long to react to where he was, and so it's down to the 1v1. PP knows exactly where his opponent is, but Flying's too quick.
They are so lucky that Flying is a god. Like seriously, I'd buy this man a beer or something after this game, because there have been so many rounds now where I think Invictus, I'm safe to say, they made the wrong play, like with how they've actually set things up, and he's bailed them out of it. I still remember the gamble stack they had on the B site where he's the solo man versus 4 and he kills 3. In this round, it ends up in a 1v1 in a situation where I think they shouldn't have even come close to that. It just, like, they didn't get the bomb down for ages, or their smokes faded. It was silly. But they managed to get away with it. Now they're up against the 4-spy, and that's the second player now that we've seen try to run short without checking into the connector or without any connector smoke. It is mad. It's mad that this is even allowed. Like, there are so many ways to smoke connector, and from so many different places. The fact that they're trying to just run the gauntlet past it to save a smoke, it's just madness to me. I don't understand.
Well, we've had a deagle push from Rolex to get an opening at least in towards the apartment, so ZIGMA going to be happy to find all these kills in a round that didn't look too likely. Invictus have just left themselves. They've pulled their own pants down and tried to run. In the end, just end up looking like an arse.
Yeah. I do question a lot of the things this team does. Why are you not smoking connector? Like, why? If you're going to push short, smoke it. You can literally smoke it from the position you're on. Like, you just go, oh, just throw it into the back corner. It'll bounce roughly there. Or you can do it properly and line up the smoke that goes over the top and lands beautifully down, bouncing off a load of different things. A wonderful smoke. Instead, they use none. They just run in and die.
So, I'm trying to figure this out. Spinach seems to be their coach, so they do seem to have a coach, although I'm not sure if he's temporary based on what it says in HLTV that he's stood in for. I'm not really sure. Name replacing this person. Yeah, I don't know, but he's listed as our active coach at the moment anyways. I really feel like, I don't know what it comes down to, but a lot of the time in when I look at these Asian teams, I feel like there's a lot of teams that have great potential, not just on 1 or 2 players, but like as a team themselves, and all they need is somebody who really, like, a masterful coach to come in and mold them like clay. You also need to be able to, I suppose, be... So, here's the thing. a good coach alongside an analyst can do a lot for a team, but really it's about what that team is made of. Not just that it's got the right parts, but that it's in the right condition. You think about molding clay, right? That's how I see a team. And obviously you need the coach there to actually physically mold it. You need the analyst in the background to tell him what parts he maybe needs to focus on, reinforce, and so it doesn't fall apart. And then you need the players to be the right material, first of all, and then to be in the right condition. So not just that they've got the skill and all that sort of stuff, but also that they're willing to listen. They're willing to actually change their approaches to games. They've actually gotten a bomb plant here from Invictus. It's not too bad. They just water fell out. But because if you think about it, even if they're the right parts, you got good players, everyone's good at their role, but they're not willing to listen, play together, and improve, and really respect what their coach is telling them and constantly work on applying that to their gameplay. It's like having clay, but not having it wet, right? You're not going to be able to mold that. It's going to be dusty. It's not going to work. You need to have everything lined up to really shape it into a nice, clean team. And I think it's hard to really run into a lineup that's willing to do all that sort of stuff. And I feel like in the Asian region, especially from what we've been seeing, it's based very much around individuals. And a lot of rounds are won or lost by what one player decides to do. And that's not really the ideal form of Counter-Strike.
Not even close, I would say. Oh, they're going for this again. That they've not smoked connector. Or at least not well. I assume that was the CT smoke, right? That's the classic one that you can set over the top of. If that was that smoke, then they've listened, but not very well. Because that was just, it was so much space for him to find kills over the top of it. I'm going to go back to a previous, like, if you don't know how to smoke connector, don't go short. Simple as. Here we go. Re-aggression from Just Cause. Probably dead.
Did you ever play Just Cause 2?
Yeah, I did.
What a game, man. The others never came close.
I then bought... What was the most recent one? Just Cause 4. Like, Just Cause 3 was okay. Yeah. Just Cause 4 was a raging turd that they decided to release into the world. So it was so weird. Like, it was like a completely different game.
Yeah. Dude, I don't think anything ever met Just Cause 2. That was hands. I don't even think it's nostalgia, because I was looking at it recently. I was actually thinking about getting number 4, because I saw some reviews that said it's better than 3. But I will trust your opinion more so. But what surprised me was, like, I watched it back, and even the way the gunplay feels, it's just much better. It's just graphically, it's not up to date.
Well, I always loved that, like, so there, I didn't buy that game for ages, because on Xbox there was a constant 1-hour demo where you could just replay the demo again and again. So I had it, and I was like, screw it, I'm just gonna buy this game. I played it for like 20 hours. Why don't I just play the game? Here we go, though. Pistols in, bottle. Those are some nice shots, but there has been a response. They're gonna get a bomb down again. They're getting a lot of bomb plants, but they're not winning a lot of rounds. Not sure I need to say it, but walking backwards through a smoke it's got its risks. Maybe flying can work some magic once again. He's got armor. He's got his Kevlar. Destroyer only has a Tech 9, so I think we are looking at flying to have to be the one to win this. You could almost just use him as bait. That first kill took a lot, but Destroyer's actually got a kill. In reality, Jesus only has the orb. And you might be saying only, but getting 2 kills quickly is not ideal. Destroyer's also managed to find himself an AK, and this round's over. They've managed to make that work. That is a big mistake coming out from ZIGMA, and I think that's what we're watching at this point, Mitch. It's not necessarily who plays better, it's who plays worse.
Yeah, exactly. It's not defined by who's going to win, it's who's going to lose. That's essentially how we're looking at it. By the way,
these were some really nice shots from Bottle, though.
They were gorgeous. You know, in a round like this, it does come down every single time to individuals. You have to pop off with a pistol in order to really pull things back, and Bottle had the entries, and that's the most important part of the game for sure, the round. By the way, with Just Cause 2, the reason I got it was because I used to go to GameStop all the time. Once a week, obviously, we went shopping, myself and my mom, and we'd pop into GameStop, and I'd have a look at the second-hand games, and some absolute legend.
That too. Or Blockbuster.
It doesn't exist in Ireland. Never did.
Okay. It doesn't exist anywhere.
Anywhere, yeah. Well, I did go there. That's where I got Warhammer, Space Marine 40,000 or whatever the hell that is. Yeah, I was in the UK. We were on a trip, but
Yeah.
Just Cause 2, I got that because I went in and some absolute legend had marked it down to like, I think it was like €5. So I was like, "Ma'am, can I get this, please?" And I was that annoying kid, and so she got it for me. And best thing ever.
Oh, I like the setup. I like the setup. The bait and switch. That's a really nice round coming out from ZIGMA. Invictus are struggling now. Bear in mind, anybody who's just tuned in, they were winning 8-0, then 9-1. So even after they lost their first round, they managed to break back, then lost the silly 1v3, and here we are. Only 2 rounds the difference now, and oh, this round was really nice from ZIGMA. The setup was perfect. Everybody hit their shots. Can't really ask for much more. We're going back to B. Back to B again. I don't mind it. Worked very well last time. No, they're actually going to go down the underpass. Niffy might be in some trouble here. He is in a horrible angle. He doesn't have any support. Now this setup, I hate. Because that was really silly. Like, that setup only works if your AWPer has top mid, and then you face bottom mid. If you're facing top mid, and there's no one facing bottom mid, you die. That's how that works. So, I guess maybe he was waiting for a flash, but once that smoke came down, he should have just given it. Have they won this?
You said you like that setup, yeah?
I like the one in the last round, not in the one we just saw. But even from then, how did they win that?
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, how? It doesn't make sense. I was talking over it because that never should have happened, but flying. It's always flying. Like, how does he do this? He had a P250 and he gets 3 kills.
Yep. As I said before, Tom, you know, this
$100 a kill.
This region,
that is what you call value.
This region has taught me how to breathe because so often I have to go into the woosah. Breathe with me, Twitch chat. Come on. It's all gonna be okay. Deep breaths.
I think that round has lost them the game.
Yep. More than likely, 13-10. They've only got pistols. It's going to be 14-10. Now you've got to come back in a consistent buy rounds. They've got to streak together more rounds than they found so far in this game. It's quite unlikely that they managed to get their 6 in a row. And I don't know what Bottle was doing there.
That?
He's tried to rush them in connector up against pistols. Good lad. I guess this is, as you said, they're just stat padding.
Flying, don't. Please. Please. You don't need to push the smoke. Why? Like, it's just stupid. Like,
I want to give commiserations, honestly, Tom. Really, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Both of these teams have coaches, and I cannot imagine a more painful thing than to... Obviously, we're watching this from...
Well, either that or they just don't care. Like, they're just, like, sipping their juice and just, like, having a great time, just winning some money.
I won't insult them like that, but the reality is for those coaches...
They've got little sippy cups.
It's hurting me sitting here watching some of these decisions that are being made, and I think... If you're coaching these teams, you're obviously sat there, you can only see it from their perspective. And you've got to, like, after every game, it must be like headbutting a brick wall. Just,
hey, look, it's that free AK they got in the last round.
It's gone. They've finally gotten rid of it.
Oh, no, I mean...
Oh, no, yeah.
The way PB over there just got a kill with it.
I think he would have done that with an M4 either way.
Probably, but I'm bitter. Wait, did they smoke connector? Hallelujah.
No, that was a CT smoke, Tom. That was genuinely a CT smoke.
Oh, no, it wasn't. It
was a CT smoke.
Don't do me like that.
Smoke.
Look, where they're pushing into B. They're pushing to B. I'm giving T's credit for smoking connector.
No, they didn't smoke connector. ZIGMA smoked themselves out of connector.
No, they didn't. Please, I can't.
They genuinely did as well. It was a CT smoke. What the fuck's going on?
Flying is like, he's my favorite player. He might be the only player I like. Actually, I quite like Viva as well.
Oh, nasty stuff. All right, save now, boys. ZIGMA are gone. No, they gotta go for it. Got 20 seconds. Come on, 3v3. You're retaking B. You're gonna go for this?
Got a kit.
10 seconds to get in there. 10
Easy
seconds.
kill.
10
The
seconds to find
Molotov's
2
down.
kills. Go and save. Go and save. Go and save. Thank you. What are they doing? What are they doing with 20 seconds thinking they can get back in there?
Viva's banged him. He's having some good games. I'm trying to look at the positives here because I don't want to talk about the rest.
No, what are you doing? What are you doing? Oh my god, I hate these teams. Tom, I want you to remember something for me, okay? This is online Counter-Strike. There's no way to enforce whether your coach is talking to you all the time or not. So not only is this a case that they're making stupid decisions, but you've literally got someone in the background whose job is to stop you making stupid decisions. And they still make stupid decisions. I'm sat here screaming at them, go and save.
No!
Viva. Okay, well, look, they're 15-10. They don't care anymore. Like, Invictus are coming through with just sheer confidence, and I just don't care. Fair enough, go for it. But, like, in that 3v3, I'm sat here screaming, go and save. Why is their coach not screaming go save? And they just let them go forward, lose a player, get exited on one more, and then I don't know what PB was doing, jumping around. Like, it's not like he's jumping for joy. There's nothing to be happy about. This is ridiculous, man.
I think he's a scroll wheel jumper. Because I saw him earlier in a clutch that he won. He jumped in the middle of it.
Maybe.
I think that was a scroll wheel jump. But even still, like, it's a risky position to save him for no reason. Reality Jesus? Yeah, good. I feel like flying is the one dealing out the pain every time there's, like, a decision that is risky. Like, he's just like, no. Oh, okay. Oh, dearie me. Zhao Sage, he's managed to bring this back into a 2 versus 2. This is a round that should not be losable, considering what has been purchased. But that doesn't matter when it comes to this match. As it's a 2 versus 2 situation. There's guns on the floor, but they've avoided all of them. There's a man tapping the bomb. He's trying to bait them in, and Flying. Thank you, Flying. 29 kills for him. Easily the MVP of the whole series. Like, Viva had a very good last map. But, yeah, that if I had hair to rip out, it would be gone. But luckily, I am bald, and that works for me.
Let's just get blind.